I'm Ahmed Bassioni, and before I start today's program, I'm going to say this. I'm a Republican, but I'm going to try my best to be honest and fair between both parties, Republicans and Democrats, because politics is the same thing as a religion, and you should never discriminate anyone for their political view or religion. In matter of fact, don't discriminate any human being at all. If I do say something you feel might be incorrect, please leave it in the comments. But please do not comment personal opinions on this one. Just comment your truth, history, and facts. Don't say, but Abraham Lincoln was an undercover Democrat. That's nonsense. That's called personal opinion. Just comment the facts. And before we start today's program, I'm going to show you how they voted in 1870.
Are you white? No. Are you man? No.
It sound right, boy.
The reason I decided to do this video is to teach people about history, the Senate, the House, and the filibuster. I have a friend that knew me for a very long time, but she never knew I was a Republican until she seen my Facebook posts. So when we met, she went like this, Ahmed, how could you be supporting fascist, racist, extremists, white supremacists? So I pulled out my chill pill, handed it to her, and told her, take a chill pill. After she swallowed it and calmed down, I asked her a couple of questions about the Democratic Party, and every single question I asked her, she didn't know. So I realized that this person in front of me had no idea about anything about the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. She was brainwashed from the news stations that are most likely owned by Democrats. So I said, I'm going to create this video to teach people. I don't think anyone should be in a party that has no idea what the party is about. A little bit about me. I graduated from Rutgers University with political science and economy, and I also have an MBA in management. And I studied both parties very clearly before I decided to be a Republican. So I basically know everything about the Democratic Party and everything about the Republican Party. Here's a picture of me in Jersey City when I was only 18 years old with the Republican mayor, Brett Chandler. I was always a Republican. The first question I asked her, who founded the Democratic Party and when was it founded? Of course, she had no clue. The Democratic Party was founded on January 8, 1828, by this guy, the guy on the $20 bill, Andrew Jackson. Now, how many of you Democrats knew that? Actually, they want to remove Andrew Jackson from the $20 bill and put Harriet Tubman. I love Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass. They both were two hardcore Republicans. As a matter of fact, the reason I joined the Republican Party because the Republican Party was the party that freed the slaves. The Republican Party was founded in 1854 to free the slaves. It was founded by the Whig Party and the Free Soil Party. Abraham Lincoln was the first Republican president. He's the one that actually freed the slaves. But it wasn't that simple. There was a huge civil war between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party because the Democrats wanted slavery and the Republicans insisted to free the slaves. True Republicans don't support the Confederate flag because it's not their flag. That's a Democratic flag from the Civil War. The first thing the Democrats did after slavery was abolished was killed Abraham Lincoln for freeing the slaves. The second thing is they invented the KKK to scare off the newly freed slaves. Here is what Malcolm X thought about both parties. Let me explain this to you. A liberal is a person from the Democratic Party. A conservative is a person from the Republican Party.
The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives. The American Negro is nothing but a political football, and the white liberals control this ball through tricks or tokenism, false promises of integration and civil rights. In this game of deceiving and using the American Negro, the white liberals have complete cooperation of the Negro civil rights leader, who sell our people out for a few crumbs of token recognition, token gains, token power.
Now let's move on and explain what the House and Senate is. The United States government consists of three branches: legislative, judicial, and executive. AOC is in Congress, and she did not know those three branches. I don't know what the hell she's doing in Congress. She never knows anything. Anyway, Congress is the legislative part. Congress consists of two separate bodies, the House of Representatives with 435 members and the Senate with 100 members. And to be part of the House, you need to be a citizen of the United States for at least 7 years, a minimum age of 25, and you are re-elected every 2 years. Each state has a different amount of House of Representatives, depending on the state. Now, as for the Senate, these are 6-year terms, and every 2 years, a third of them are re-elected. And to be part of the Senate, you have to be a United States citizen for at least 9 years and a minimum age of 30. The House selects a speaker that's in charge of the calendar that decides which bills will be debated and influence the legislation to be considered. The Senate generally works with its members in consultation to make its decisions by voting on things. The House has 19 standing committees and the Senate has 16 standing committees. Passing legislation requires an agreement between the House and the Senate, and this takes place in the Capitol. Our founding fathers were extremely smart. They designed a system where no party or president can be in power alone. Power would come only as a whole, and I love it. Now we're going to move on to talk about the filibuster, my favorite subject, which the Democrats really hate. But wait, they only hate it when they're in power. What is a filibuster and why do I love it? The filibuster requires 60 votes in the Senate before they can vote on something to bring it into law. The Democrats now have 51 seats in the Senate and the Republicans have 50 seats in the Senate. But actually, the Democrats only have 50 seats in the Senate and the Republicans have 50 seats in the Senate. But in a tiebreaker, they can use the vice president to break the tie. The Democrats want to change the American system to get their way. They want to remove the filibuster, create new states, and pack the courts. All that is wrong thinking. Because what about if the shoe is on the other foot? Nothing ever stays the same. Just 2 years ago, there were more Republican senates than Democrat senates. So if there was no filibuster there, they would have disabled themselves. But they argue, hey, but the Republicans removed the filibuster from the House of Representatives in 1888 when they had the majority. The Republicans were wrong. I admit it. My people were wrong.
Would you urge the Senate Democratic leader to get rid of the filibuster?
I think we have to have that on the table.
To get rid of the filibuster.
Get rid of the filibuster.
I'm Ahmed Bassioni. Thank you guys for watching. I owe you guys one, but I need another favor. Like, share, and subscribe. God bless you and God bless America. I'm out.
It sound right, boy.